So I've talked about having a puffer in some of my previous videos, so I kind of want to show off this chunky puffer here in this tank. It is a green spotted puffer, and this is a brackish tank. So if those who are curious, you do not want to put a green spotted puffer into just a freshwater tank, even though you may have some pet stores that are keeping them in freshwater. They actually do a lot better in a brackish tank. And for those who are wondering what brackish means, it means it's kind of half salt water, half fresh water. The exact amount of salt you need to put in, it may be dependent, and you want to really ask if it's a good local fish store what the actual ratio that they've been using to keep the fish, so that when you have the puffer brought home, that you're not going to shock it in terms of the salinity. So, but you can see here, this is a legit brackish tank, and you have a very fat puffer who's called actually Puffy. Not very creative name, but he's very chill. And I have other fish in here, gobies, bumblebee gobies, which are also brackish. I used to have archer fishes, but they passed away probably a couple months ago. They were pretty old, and so they passed away. It was kind of sad because they both kind of passed away pretty close around the same time. But as you can see, Puffy's doing very well and probably eating a lot better now that we pretty much still put in the same amount of bloodworms that used to be scooped up by the archer fishes, and they're now, of course, Puffy is eating all of them. So you can see Puffy is a very, very chubby baby. And part of having a puffer is, of course, you can see they are very, very cute, very adorable fish. They can actually be very active and interactive with you as a person feeding them. Of course, it's all about the food. The only reason they want to even talk to you or play with you is because they're getting food. So one thing to remember with puffers is that they can be pretty picky with food, and although I've tried to have a variety of food, pretty much he loves bloodworms and Mice's shrimp, which are you can get frozen. Defrost it or thaw it in some water, and then feed it to him. He gets spoiled rotten also by getting some fresh clams. So cooked frozen clams on the half shell. That's why he's so fat, as you can see, very chubby. And you can also tell the mood of your puffer pretty easily if they're very shy and skittish, or they're not eating. Maybe some issue with either the water quality or just something that they're maybe a digestion issue. But otherwise, they're always hungry. How do you know that they're hungry? You look at their belly. If their belly is turned darker, and it can actually turn jet black when they really, really want to eat. And that's actually them telling you, feed me now, I want to eat now. So although like most animals, like a dog or a cat, they may beg you to feed them at the time they want to. You really want to actually keep to a good consistent time in which you're feeding them. I found that most puffers do not want to eat bloodworms or food that has fallen to the substrate. that they like food that looks like it's alive, it's dangling in the on the surface of the water. So I tried to actually, I have actually hand fed this puffer from the start, so he is spoiled in which that he gets this kind of, top service. But, he deserves it, right? He looks very cute, very adorable, very playful. That may not be the case when you get your own green spotted puffer. They may be very shy in the beginning, but once you really teach them to play for food, essentially, you can actually have a pretty good relationship. So you can see he'll also react to you feeding them, so they know who you are, they remember who you are. That's kind of along the lines of my Oscar, who does the same thing, who knows, who knows who his family is essentially. So if you're interested in learning more about puffers or you have specific questions, leave me a question in the comments. Definitely willing to answer them because I've gotten a lot of questions from my local community about how it is to raise a puffer. It's not hard if you're willing to do the work to make sure that it's in a brackish environment. You can see the tank looks a little bit dirty, but it's actually just the natural algae and buildup that you get. I clean it fairly often and make sure that it doesn't go totally out of whack. But this is not a tank that I definitely do not overfeed the fish because there aren't that many in here. And you can see there's some algae buildup, but I will tell you in a future video that I actually do get to use this algae as a food source for another very interesting, unique critter. So I'll talk more about that in a future video, but at least you get to meet Puffy. Very cute. Probably do better. I'll include some snapshots in this video so you can see how adorably cute and his smile in some pictures. But leave a comment if you want me to know more. Definitely like and subscribe. I'd actually love to do more videos. I actually have more than this green spotted puffer as a puffer. So I have other types of puffers in my home. So I'll show them in more videos in the future. So talk to you soon.